have my notes. Hello and welcome to episode 0 of the podcast that is yet to be named. My name is Sonoda, or Sono, if you follow my social medias. It's shorthand that I use all the time. I know I haven't really interacted much with my YouTube audience, so this will be a good chance for you guys to get to know me before I start doing more episodes of the podcast with guests and bigger topics. So it's just kind of like a self-introduction to everybody. I have also gone by a few previous tags. If anybody knows me by them, probably not. But I was in a band in high school and our name was World War IV. So I adopted that tag for a while. And then as I started playing video games more, I adopted the tag Tsubaki from Soul Eater. And then later on, I dropped that tag and I picked up Musubi from Sekirei. Silence the Silent. Other tags. And then after Musubi ran its course for me, I became a huge Love Live fan. And my favorite character was Umi. And so this is around the time when Street Fighter V was coming out, and it was like, oh, you can have your own CFN ID, and it can be different from your PSN. So I was like, all right, cool. And so I was like thinking about it, and this is around I was thinking about changing my name. So when Street Fighter V dropped, I got in that shit immediately and took the name Sonoda. I still have the CFN to this day. I don't play the game anymore, but I still have it for old time's sake. Sono, that came from a group chat I was in for the K-pop group EXID, and I met a couple friends in there, Amy and Orai, who gave me the shorthand for Sonoda's Sono, so that kind of stuck, so I use that for a lot of things now. My first fighting game was Marvel 3. I'd always played fighting games. I'd always been a big fan, especially in arcades. I'd play like Tekken 4, Tekken Tag, Marvel 2. I was never really good. I didn't know how to play. I'd always play on simple mode in Marvel and just mash, do shit with Hayate to have fun. But my first game that I took seriously was Marvel 3, Vanilla. I played Ryu, Wesker, Dante. I was ass. Around the same time I started watching Wednesday Night Fights on the old Justin TV. And after that I started watching and seeing what players did, and so I kind of just, okay, I can do this, that. So I would go and I would practice and try to do those things. Never in a million years I think I'd be able to do half the stuff I'm able to do now. Put in a lot of time. Oh, for those of you that don't know, I do play with one hand. So learning how to play fighting games with one hand and having the level of execution that I do, yeah, I'm proud of that. Once I learned how to bolt cancel properly and do it consistently, it took me a few years, but once I got it, I knew like the sky's the limit. I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever combo. To this date, I think the hardest combos I've ever done were Shadow Labyrinth combos. I labbed a couple Shadow Labyrinth Test of Deaths in P4U2. Those are fun. Hard as hell, but they're fun to do. On pad. A game I wish I played. KOF 13. Played back when I was a Marvel head. All I played was Marvel. I didn't start playing Street Fighter 4 until the end of AE, the beginning of Ultra. That's when I picked up that game. I saw Makoto, thought she was fucking sick, so I picked her up, and I had the hardest time with Sagat at first. Oh, shoutouts to my Marvel boys, Ray and Angel. We used to have all-nighters, wars, hard-fought sets, all that. Fucking Zero May Cry and Captain America. My favorite fighting game characters that I enjoy playing would have to be Marvel 3 Dante, Eunice Wald, Answer, Rev 2, and Xiao Yu in Tekken 7. Those are my favorite characters to play. They're also my mains. Go figure. Another character I enjoyed that I didn't think I would. Piccolo. I love Piccolo. I love the cheap shit. Even though Bardock is my favorite Dragon Ball character, yes, Bardock was and is my favorite Dragon Ball character. Even before he dropped, it was broken and retarded and Unga and 5LL. He was my favorite character. I remember played the shit out of him in Budokai. I played the shit out of him in DBFZ. Playing one-handed. It was kind of wasn't rough, but it took a long time to learn that I can do it. Because at first I was kind of just doing like ABC launch, ABC double TAC, and like, yeah, I can do a damn combo. And then once I started watching more tournament footage and seeing what other players did, I kind of started trying to X-copy all that into what I did. And slowly but surely, I found my layout there. Still finds weird to this day. It was the default layout, but instead of using all the bumpers for the assists and, you know, like LMH, LMHS, I used L2 for LMH, and then I had L1 for L, and then my assists were backwards on the right side. So assist 1 was in the back on R2, and assist 1 was in the back on R2, and assist 2 was in the front on R1. Because I called assist 2 more, so I had that closer to me. Instead of having to reach way back with my index finger and hit that button, I would just have to hit R1 instead. And then I got smart and I started putting a dash macro on my right stick. So instead of having to do like for my Morgan bread and butter, instead of having to do medium H, fireball, fly, push down plus a trigger to dash, it was MMH, fireball, fly, down plus clicking right stick. And so that made it a lot easier for me to do those kind of combos. Even doing Magneto combos, hypergrav loops, even just like plink hyper hop box dash with Dante. That made that a lot faster for me to do. So I played on pad for about from 2011 to 2014, and around 2014 I switched to stick because it was around the time when Street Fighter V was coming out, and it was announced that it was a PS4 exclusive. So everybody was kind of switching over to PS4, and as it was MKX and Guilty Gear were coming out, and I hated playing on that pad. I think the DualShock 4 is the biggest piece of shit. Props to anybody that can play that thing. I think it is god awful. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try stick. So I went on eBay. I found someone selling the original Chun-Li TE stick. Gorgeous. I'm looking at it right now. I still have it. And so I bought that. Someone tried to snipe it from me. Someone tried to come in at the last second before the auction was over and jack up the price, but I pulled through. I had the timer set. I was up at the butt crack of dawn. Put my bid in, got my stick. Started playing MKX on stick. I know, NRS game on stick. Yikes. But I can't play on that pad. Holding block and trying to play that game on one hand on pad is a nightmare. It was so much easier for me to put block on R2 on a stick and move around and block like that. And around the same time, I also picked up a PS3 because I got the PS3 version of the stick, and I picked up Unio. And to this day, Unis now is my favorite fighting game of all time. You know, I started as a Marvel player, and I will always love Marvel. Unis is my favorite game. So I picked up Unio at the time, and I learned how to play stick on there. At first it was rough. I dropped a lot of stuff. I made a lot of execution mistakes on simple stuff just because I wasn't really comfortable with it yet. Looking back, it all makes sense. And then I started playing DFC, Denbuku Fighting Climax, on PS3. And that actually helped me a lot. Helped me learn how to play stick faster because it was easier, less inputs. It was just quarter circles, so got to get comfortable on stick like that. That was a lot of fun. Shout out to Shaka for loaning me the game. My favorite fighting games currently. Unis. First and foremost, Unis. I love Unis. I think it's the best fighting game out right now. Everybody should be playing this game. I've been playing this game for 5 years now. Ever since 2014, I've been playing this game. I think it's fantastic. If you haven't tried it yet, go pick it up, try it. The easiest way to compare it is anime Street Fighter, so it's kind of treated like that at first. Before you were into the cheap shit, the oppressive stuff, kind of, if all you played is Capcom games or you've played like Tekken, think of it as like an anime version of Street Fighter. But once you get to the cheap shit, then that's when it becomes its own beast. Once you learn all the mechanics and get comfortable with the game, you'll have a blast. I guarantee it. Alright, ignore the random song change, but there's a couple topics that I zoomed past while recording the first take. So, I wanted to ask you guys a question. Why you guys subscribe to me? Was it my old combo videos? My old tech? I know a lot of you subscribe to me for my Guilty Gear content, my biking videos especially, all the labbing I did for that character early in the demo. She's my soulmate character, as you guys heard earlier, as I was talking about. I play with one hand, so when I saw her, I instantly had that connection with her. She was announced, and when she was announced for Rev 2, I had to lab her, I had to learn her. So, also the story about those videos, especially all that content I put up for biking, that holds a special place to me because I had gotten in a car crash the day before or a few days before the demo had dropped, where they had Answer and her available to play, and my wrist was super swollen, but I pulled through, I gutted it out, and I kind of forced myself to play Guilty Gear, and it was kind of hard, not kind of hard, but it was rough because at the time I was playing on a Korean stick, and as you guys, if you don't know, those sticks are really tight. So labbing her on a Korean stick with a swollen wrist was not ideal, but I got it out and I pulled through. I labbed a lot of content for her. I put out a lot of tech, a lot of optimal stuff, setups, early burst baits, counter setups, red parry, burst safe routes, etc. So if you guys sub to me for my Guilty Gear content, thank you. I appreciate it. All that time I spent with biking holds a special place with me. But if you subscribe to me for something else, please let me know. I'd like to know. Other than that, Evo is coming around the corner in a few months. The only game I'm 100% entering is Eunice right now. And the game I'm looking forward to playing would probably be Samurai Showdown. A lot of games right now on my list are big maybes for me, like DBFZ, Tekken, MK11. I'd have to play those games a lot to be comfortable playing them and not just being a pot filler. So, you know, with all my combined travel that I'm going to be doing over the summer, going to the East Coast, coming back, going to Evo, having all the offline training fresh, I'll be able to compete comfortably at Evo. Hopefully I don't drown in pools. Hopefully I can do something, make everybody proud. Finally show up the 5-finger God, as I should enter. Just want to I have a ton of shout outs to give out. Got a special shout out to Eric. I don't know where you are, what happened, but if it weren't for you, I would have never met Ray. That was my first ever rival in fighting games. When we met each other, we both sucked hot ass at Marvel, and we both got really good together. Just grinding out sets, fucking day and night, from sun up to sundown, playing hundreds of games. And then through Ray, I met Rob. To this day is the only person I can never beat in Street Fighter. You are one hell of a player, Rob. Shout outs to Angel, the Zero May Cry player in my life. Everybody needs one. Thanks for the experience, homie. Shout out to Max. Evo 20, I believe it was Evo 2014 when with the year Luffy won. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna post stuff about Evo and put my Instagram account on public, and he liked one of my pictures. So me and him started talking about Street Fighter. This is before I played the game seriously. Well, not seriously, or tried to play the game, tried to learn it. We were talking about how we both like Rose, and kind of took off from there. And then we started playing Street Fighter together, and I kind of assimilated into his group of friends, who are now somewhat brothers for life. We got Mo, James, Juan, Andrew, and Kyle. Even though he doesn't play fighting games all that much, you guys are homies. You guys are brothers. Shout out to my other group of East Coast friends, East Coast Hours, Monta, Duke, Kevin, David, Jack, all you guys. Shout outs to J Booth and Lee, Robokune. Even though I really don't talk to you guys anymore, you guys are homies. Thank you, Monta and J Booth, for helping me learn Eunice and the Flash, putting me in lobbies with killers, busting my ass, until I learned how to block. Shout outs to Lee, you a real one. I still owe you a Eunice set and a Guilty Gear set at some point. Shout outs to my TA friends. I was gonna say brothers, but shout outs to Kelly. You went through with the change, or she went through with the change, rather. Sorry. Shaka, SQ, Bashan. Always talking about Chia together, teaching me stuff, relaying messages, watching sets. It was an interesting contrast between how Shaka played and how SQ played. Shout outs to Yuki, Donovan, you're the homie. Some other players, another player that helped me out a lot was Shinsen with Yukari. Oh, that's another one of my favorite fighting games characters, Yukari. I always have a love for Yukari because she's the character that helped me learned how to do IADs. To this day, just like it's effortless because her bread and butter is required IADs, so I had to learn how to do them. And if I didn't, I couldn't play the character. So I put in the time, and now I do IADs like this is Shinsen, wherever you are, homie, Chicago. Thanks for helping me learn the character. BW Cool, Darklon25 for helping me learn Morgan, answering all my questions. Same thing with SQ and Shaka. Thank you for always answering my questions about Chie, and even if it was the stupidest damn question, thank you. Shout out to Game Goons, that whole group. Copcast, some of my favorite people in the FGC. Pardon the interruption. Shout out to Alucard, the Iron Man player from Marvel 3. Thank you for answering all my silly questions about movement, how to plank, how to wave dash. Even though they seemed simple at the time and I was just bad. Thank you for helping me out. Shout out to Yipes for helping me learn how to play Spencer. Answering my questions on Twitter way back in the day. Shout out to a couple high school homies I went to. I went to school with Rudy and Ralph playing offline sets with me and Marvel. It was fun. Hope you guys still play. I know you guys were playing KI last time I talked to you. Shout out to Kuro. I know you really just play Tekken, but keep doing your thing, man. My favorite players. Man, this is hard. This one was hard for me to break it down to just. I'm gonna give myself just 10. So number 1, all-time favorite player, Sako. Sako Noko. Love watching him play. Number 2, IFC Yipes. I loved watching his Dante. Even though it was a damn struggle in that game. Number 3 would have to be Momochi. I love watching Momochi play. From Green Can to Green Zeku. I just love the way he plays, his spacing, his punishes. My favorite moments is when he whiff punished, I forget what match it was, but he whiff punished something with standing jab, counter hit into EX Tatsu, into a back throw to kill or stun, whichever it was. Nemo, love Team Nemo. I love the way he plays, the ignorance in his game plan. Just wake up, EX headbutt, and it works. Who else? One more player. I love watching Goichi play. He's not the fanciest shit ever most of the time, but whatever he does is efficient, and he will kill you. If he touches you and gets that hit, he will kill you. Speaking of which, a new player that everybody's just found out about, but is ridiculous, Fenrich. Love watching him play, whether it's Blaze Blue or DBFC. I love watching him play. It's exciting. Watanabe and Eunice. Watanabe and Argon Ross. I love watching wall players. All 3 of us. Oh, shouts to Breaker Dave. Sorry. 4 of us. Sanchez. I love watching Answer. I love the way he plays. I love his philosophy about playing. Comes to the effect of, I don't want to oppress you all the time. I don't want to take away all reps. I want to give you 7 options, but behind those 7 doors, there I am. So shout out to Sanchez. My favorite Twitter account. Go follow Mecha MacGyver if you haven't already. Tell him I sent you. You won't regret it. That's the best Twitter account. Reynold. I love Reynold. Always fun to play. Always fun to play against. Always fun to watch. Even though he likes to troll, it's always fun to watch Reynolds. E.T. I love watching E.T. play. What other games do I play? I love watching Nee play. I really enjoyed him counterpicking Double Gym with Lily. Watching him show that matchup, that was an amazing display. Also, JDC, his first set with JDC on Tekken 7, Lei versus Dragunov. Or Fang, sorry, not Lei. Fang versus Dragunov. That was one of the most amazing sets I've ever seen. Very inspirational if you want to learn Tekken. That'll inspire you if you're looking to learn that game or get into it. Also, another player I really love to watch was Shaka. I really love watching Shaka's cheer. So shout out to you, Shaka. It's always fun. Most of my favorite players played Capcom games. Trying to think if I have another favorite player from a different game. Sorry for the awkward silence. Give me a moment. Oh, Moons. Sorry. Moons. I've always enjoyed watching Moons play Marvel 3. It's always fun to watch Moons play. I'll leave you guys with a little music recommendation. If you're looking for a good album to chill to, Woogie. Rewind My Tape Part 2. Very chill album, very good, very hip hop. Very smooth hip hop flow. It's mostly in English, just Korean sprinkled in because obviously they're Korean artists on that record. But if you're looking for a good album to chill to and you enjoy hip hop, go check out Woogie's Rewind My Tape Part 2. And this has been Sonoda. It's been Sonoda signing out. Peace out. Also, if you guys enjoyed this pilot episode 0 of the podcast, please let me know. Please let me know if you'd like me to add anything, change anything about it, fix some audio, whatever. Any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below. I'll also leave links to my social medias and the playlist that's been playing in the background for this podcast. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching.